You're good to go whenever.
Okay. Good evening. Sorry, maybe I should do my hair. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all. The Economic Development, Tourism and Cultural Initiatives Advisory Committee meeting is now called to order. Roll call has been taken. Prior to considering our items on the agenda, I'll go over some rules of procedure. This meeting is held in a hybrid format. All cameras for committee members shall remain on to ensure quorum. Members of the committee shall indicate they wish to speak by raising their hand. Members who are present in person will be given opportunity to speak first, followed by virtual participants. Please leave your hand raised until the chair has determined the result of the vote. All rules for delegations under the city's procedural bylaw apply. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest for any of the items listed on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, I would like to invite Joe Muto. We have one presentation on our agenda today. I would ask Joe Muto to present your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good evening, members of the committee, Mayor Davis, and Councilor Samuel. Joe Muto, I'm the Acting Director of Economic Development, Tourism, and Cultural Initiatives. I'm very excited today to bring forward to you the actual report that has the appendice of the newer, modernized economic development strategy. It has been a little delayed, and I know that this committee did hear from previous staff in the position here back in November of last year with respect to the options and actions and the input provided. We've now completed that work with our consultant, and happy once again to bring this in front of you. I have a very brief presentation. Next page, Madam Chair. Thank you. So, just as a project history, in 2022, the current economic development strategy expired, and in between there, it doesn't mean that staff had stopped work on anything economic development related. We were focused on the Economic Recovery Task Force, the implementation and action plan associated with that, and then got direction with respect to, from council with respect to commencement of a new project, which is the one before you this evening. And that occurred in January of 2023. And as I said, and as committee's aware, I think we had done a number of consultation engagement opportunities with the public and other stakeholders within the community in the preparation of the strategy that's before you this evening. We focus primarily on what the project deliverables and the strategic actions that will come forward out of this plan. Next slide, Madam Chair. So this strategy is a modernized strategy. It focused on the previous strategy in terms of what our consultant did, and created basically 65 actions or sub-actions that would enhance the growth of the city's economic development program currently. Those 7 goals can be summarized by focus on the downtown, business first, climate, integration of all streams, focusing on the creative industry sector, as well as post-secondary institutions, improving partnerships, and building further on our tourism portfolio. In preparation, as I said, of this strategy, quite a bit of consultation did take place, and on a variety of engagement fronts, in-person, virtual, online, such as Let's Talk Brantford. Next page, Madam Chair. Other deliverables, which was different from the previous strategy, is now including in this strategy the Brantford Municipal Airport, the Brantford Farmers Market, and the overall community review, situational analysis, market assessment, and the implementation annual monitoring has been a key focus in the strategy that is attached as Appendix A to this report. Next slide, Madam Chair. This was a brief report, brief presentation. I thank you all for your time this evening and happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Joe. Are there any questions?
If I may add, Madam Chair, the goal is to, if there are any comments or input from the committee, is to then work that into a more formalized report to Cal and Council, which I'm targeting December of this year to advance to Cal and Cal PA on the 10th of December.
Thank you, Joe. Mayor Davis?
Yes, Joe, thank you for that very brief but informative presentation. That was a record.
I should have made it longer since it's the only item on tonight's agenda. But,
There is a section of I think it was partnerships. That's 6 on your list of.
yeah, cool 6.
So what would that consist of, and who would the partnerships be with?
I'm assuming the partnerships would be with not only other city departments, but the public and the business community. There is a list in the attached appendice, and I can't find it right now. But happy to provide an update through a memo through the clerk if that helps, Mayor.
So who would these partnerships be with?
Likely post-secondary institutions and other stakeholders within the community, such as industry, bigger industry within the community. I would assume the hospital, other post-secondary institutions, and downtown BIA and other associations such as the Downtown Association.
Okay.
David?
And the Chamber of Commerce Brantford brand.
Yeah, send them to David.
We might be able to, I can proudly report that we've already begun working on 3, goal 6, priority action 3, item number A, hosting a major state of the city business development event. We hosted our first one, 2050, in the spring of this year, or June 2024. And we're looking forward to an April 17th luncheon event with probably a different type of format style, just to mix it up a little bit, but that's already on our calendar. And we're considering the industrial awards program and how we may make that work within our existing portfolio, but that one will be executed. So goal 6, priority action 3B won't be able to be achieved in 2025, but we're looking forward to considering how to make it happen in 2026 and beyond. But very glad to see this come forward from the Chamber's perspective. I think we were ready to move forward with it in February. Glad to see it in place and look forward to getting to work on it.
I think Carrie had a hand up during the presentation on this.
No, I just couldn't hear really good at first, but that's okay. It got better. Thanks. And I want to show the BIA's appreciation too for this coming forward. It's been a long time coming, so I'm glad it's finally here.
Thank you. Mayor Davis?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. I have a follow-up question. All right. Addressed to Mr. Muda. So if I look back on some other similar efforts we council have done over the last 5 years, the Mayor's Housing Task Force, Mayor's Downtown Task Force, every one of those, we came up with a list of what they call deliverables or action items, similar to what we see in this report. And then in follow-up to that, staff prepared a summary or a listing of those objectives And then timelines as to when they would be accomplished and who would be assigned to complete those tasks or those objectives. Do you see doing something similar with this?
Through the chair, absolutely, Mayor. And you'll see it in the forthcoming report that I think would, annually we do a department in review. We have previously established a report card for the former expired ECDEV strategy, which will lay out those actions, the deliverables, who's responsible for them. Although we would like to pride ourselves that it's only ECDEV, it's the corporation as a whole that will achieve those actions, Mayor.
Yeah, so some of the objectives involve joint initiatives with the county of Brant. What timeline would you put on that?
I wouldn't expect any easy questions from you. It is a very good one. I have made some opportunities to try and meet with my counterpart in the county to start making or at least having those discussions with the director for the county for ECDEV. And you can apprise yourself and this committee at a later date with what that looks like. Nothing formalized just yet, but I think at first is the introduction and then start working towards those similar common regional type goals.
Well said.
Questions? May I ask a question? Am I allowed to? Regarding the airport, sorry, I was just there this afternoon. When I talked to the manager there, he said the airport has worked with several post-secondary institutions in the past, including Conestoga and other colleges. He said, they all say, we want to send you students, but the airport needs more aircrafts to be actually able to offer more training for students. The report says, initiate discussion with Ontario colleges to explore potential partnership with the city of Brantford for the delivery of commercial aviation training programs at the Brantford Municipal Airport. I guess my question is whether these former attempts to talk to various post-secondary institutions have been considered, and if this strategy is proposing a different approach.
Very good question, Madam Chair. I can tell you right now, the airport's receiving a lot of traction these days. As part of this strategy, there's a concurrent approach that we've received council direction on with respect to appraising the airport as it stands today, its operations, its value from a land-based assessment that will look at potential value and an opportunity for a municipal service corporation. I can tell you currently that Conestoga does lease a hangar from the city there. It is not an aviation related program, but there are discussions with Conestoga to investigate further their program related to flight and travel. So they may migrate the component of construction operators out of that building, but still want to stay within the community, specifically around the airport in a commercial hangar. That would not really take away from the current flight center, but be a program that they would like to utilize there. And I think it goes back full circle to what one of the original questions the mayor asked about those partnerships, and that's definitely a partnership that we see advancing in the future with respect to how to grow the airport.
Thank you. Mayor Davis.
Well, if we're talking about the airport, there is a major impediment. And that is the airport is owned by the city of Brantford. Very unusual. It sits in the county of Brant. And so if you look at industrial parks the city's developed in the past, we finance the cost of putting all the infrastructure in an industrial park, the roads, the grading, sewers, water. We finance that from the property taxes that would be paid in the future, and also development charges that are paid for some of the plans for building permit. But the challenge is that with the airport, the property taxes go to the county of Brant. And right now, with what's there, there's about $90,000 of property taxes that go to the county of Brant. And any development charges paid for new development that go to the county of Brant. And what's ironic is the county of Brant seems to want and insist we keep the airport open, but they don't contribute a dime to the operation of the airport. And they've rejected every overture from the city in terms of a joint operation of the airport. We proposed that property taxes and the development charges from new development, and there is land there that could be developed, but it costs money to develop it, that we'd split it so that we'd have money, city, to pay the cost of debt that we'd have to take on to put the infrastructure in. Every one of those overtures rejected by the county of Brant. So there's a major impediment to the development of the airport. It's not the city of Brantford, our aspirations. It is with the county of Brant, their county council, and their mayor. Sorry, I'll talk it as I see it, and that's the honest to God truth. We wish it could be something else, because I think the airport could be a tremendous regional asset for everyone. Unfortunately, County of Brant doesn't see things like that.
The airport's gotten a lot busier over the past few years because all the small airports are closing. I mean, well, their doors to developments, right? So
Yeah, the key to the development of the airport is more commercial aviation. Right now, Brantero is there, which is a fairly large business that services private planes. And that's exactly the kind of business that can prosper at the airport. But to do that, we have to provide service land. The land's there, it's not serviced, it could be. Maybe sometime in the future.
thank you, Mayor Davis. David?
Who's the best staff person? This is through the chair to the mayor, the best staff person to get a, I guess, written copy of past overtures to the county of Brant, if such a document or documents exist.
A lot of it's verbal, a lot of it is, some of it's written.
Perhaps the new CEO's office, we could maybe source some.
Could.
I was thinking from a chamber
You
advocacy.
can ask me afterwards.
Okay, chamber advocacy perspective, if the chamber could take our existing transportation policy, carve out the airport piece to it, and make an airport specific policy that we can put on paper to say, city of Brantford, county of Brant, this is economic development opportunity that aligns with both of your economic development strategies. What can we do to make this a win-win and bring it together? I realize there might be a bit of a pie in the sky idea, but I've got an energetic advocacy committee who mayor has generously met with, and they're looking for opportunities to get some wins.
Any other questions? So thank you for your presentation.
Madam Chair.
We'll now consider item 4.1. Can I please have a mover and seconder to place the item on the floor? Moved by Mandy, Councillor Ian, seconded by David, right? Okay. Now the item is on the floor. Any discussion? Mayor Davis.
Yeah, I think it's a great report. There's a lot of very interesting recommendations that to achieve them will require joint efforts with various stakeholders. But I think the end result is if we could even achieve generate more economic value for the entire region. Farmers market that would be stronger and have more vendors. A downtown that is more vital, and also a really focused economic development strategy. I mean, I'm talking about in terms of attracting industry, and also more focused in terms of being able to analyze the needs of the who we currently have here in town in terms of industry and commercial operations, and how we can better serve and help them prosper. So, as I said, some great ideas here, and hopefully over the next 5 years, not just council, because this could not be accomplished by just the council city. It's got to be a kind of a group effort, and if we pull together behind this and jointly aspire to achieving some of these goals, we'll only benefit.
Thank you. Anyone else? Victor,
I just wanted to say congratulations. We did send some comments along
Right.
a few months ago, and they were specifically, I think, tailored from the arts, culture, heritage sectors. And I was reading through, and I just wanted to thank the staff, but also the consultants. I didn't know if they'd be here today or not. I did speak with Nancy after they did their presentation, and I just want to say thank you for really taking to heart those comments and making sure that they were consistently applied throughout the report, and not just like a byline somewhere, but very thoroughly throughout, particularly around placemaking, pride building. I think those were two topics that came up that were I think strongly encouraged. So just want to say thank you and congratulations for that.
okay. Great. So let's vote. All those in favor of adopting? Okay. All those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Now we'll turn to minutes from our June meeting. Yes, it's been a long time. Can I please have a mover and seconder to place the minutes on the floor? Stephanie and Andy. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no hands. All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. So 2025 meeting schedule. Can I get a mover and seconder to receive the meeting schedule for 2025? Oh, I think I saw Ashish's hand first and Carrie's. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. There are no resolutions and no notes, notices of motion. So the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone. It was a great meeting. Thank you very much, Mary Davis. You made today's meeting very lively.
I'll just try,